G'day and welcome to Bikes and Bits 1000. Today we're going to be doing some custom work to upgrade the headlights on my Yamaha FZ6 N. So this is the stock headlight on the Yamaha FZ6 N. Look, it serves its purpose, but I think it's time for a bit of an upgrade. It's currently got a halogen bulb in there, which you can update to an LED, but I'm just looking for something completely different. As you can see, I've already updated the indicators to these ones here, and they have a flashing pattern, although you can't really see it so much in the bright light. But I'm going to be using the same brand as those indicators, which is STEDI, Australian company, and then I'll be updating the headlights to something a little bit different, a little bit custom. Right, so as mentioned, I'm going to be using some STEDI lights. Now this is going to be a bit of a interesting put together. So for the main lights, I'll be using these STEDI C4, actually work lights, but I reckon they'll look pretty good on the bike with the idea I've got. So I've got two of them. And then for the high beam, I'm going to be using this light bar. So this job's going to take a bit of time because I've got to build a custom frame to make these headlights attach. Then I'm going to have to paint it, and then I'm going to have to do all the wiring. It's going to be a little bit different from stock. My intention though is not to butcher the bike. So whilst I'm making custom frames, I want them to attach to existing mount points on the bike. So that way, for whatever reason I had to reverse it, I can. So I don't really want to be butchering up the bike. So let's get started on the bike. So this is the main headlight that's off. You'll see the wiring behind it. So my plan is to make a frame using steel tubing, square box tube that sort of comes down here, runs here, then up this side up to these mounting points, and then mounting another, that's like the subframe, and then putting another frame on top. So this is actually quite strong. This is what's holding the old headlight on, and then I'm going to run a tab down to here as well. Right, here we've got the start of the subframe, so this piece and this piece. Now I've got to put a piece down below. Yeah, so that's just made out of 20mm by 20mm by 1.6mm square tubing. All right, on to the next part. So I've got the initial subframe, the three parts, so I've just got to weld these together now and try and fit it. Alright, so I've tack welded the three parts and also this additional bracket just to give it a bit more strength. Now I've just got to weld it up properly, actually do all the joints. So on to that next step. Alright, the subframe's now done, it's all welded on. You can see I've cut that down. I didn't show you the welding, you've seen other welding, so it's more about the actual putting it together. Now what I've got to do is attach the lights. I'm going to put another bar, another piece of steel here, and so that comes out here, like that thickness, not that bar obviously, and the lights are going to attach, the two main lights will attach here. Then I'm going to put another piece of metal on here and this side, and that's where the light bar is going to attach to. So I'll get going with that. So this is the bracket now with the different posts and stuff. Obviously it's very rough at the moment, so I've still got to clean it up, finish some of the welds. It's pretty much tacked at the moment. Clean it up, put some joints here just to make it look a bit nicer, and probably something there as well. But I have tested the lights on there as far as the fitting, and they're fine. So now it's just cleaning it up. Yeah, as I said, welding, grinding, make it look a bit better before we get to painting. So I finished doing the main bracket. So here it is here, and you can see all the holes drilled out. for the various for the lights and things like that, and indicators. And then I've done the brackets here as well. I didn't paint the entire bracket because these actually fit into the lights, and it's pretty tight fit. I just use electrical tape when marking them off. So the next part will be fitting the lights and also doing the electrical work that'll connect all the new lights up to the existing circuits. So now that the frame's done, I need to do the wiring up. What I want to do is actually use a little plastic container like this. Got it from J-Car, which will house, I'm going to use a relay on the low beams. It's probably a bit of overkill, but nothing like a bit of over-engineering. Use a relay, and I'm also going to use a switch on it as well. So I'm just going to start loading the components into this. That'll fit on the bike. I found a spot right up the front. Alright, so here's the box that I've been putting together. So this over here, this black one, that's just a 12 volt relay, much like a horn relay. If you've ever put horns, air horns in the car or anything like that, or used it for lights, all the same sort of stuff. So the way it's working at the moment, this black lead in is going to be coming from the switch that I'm going to be putting in. So normally the lights will be on, but it just gives me the opportunity to have them off for whatever reason. That runs into the relay. There's also a ground on the relay that then triggers the power. Now I haven't done the main power line coming in yet. That'll be this one here. Once that's triggered, then the power comes through here and then powers these two lights. I've got some grounds running here, which I'm going to run an independent ground, just a single ground that'll come off. Over here, this is the high beam one, which I'm just running straight off the signal coming off the high beam off the bike. So that's where I'm up to at the moment. So here's the electrical box just trial fitting. There's the switch up there which pops out. I'll show you in a second. So I'm just having to connect the wires through to the appropriate points. So this one will actually run to the battery. Now I did discover something interesting. When the low beam changes to high beam, the actual low beam feed out of here cuts out. So I've had to take the constant, or the switch 12 volt from a different point, because if I when I switch to low high, the main square spotties will cut out. And here's the little switch just down here. I've got the indicators fitted now, both sides. I've still got to do the wiring on that, but I'm just going to put the lights on first. I've got the box which has the relay and the junctions, and you can see up here I've got the switch up there. Now to put the lights on the frame. So here are the lights now fitted. They look really good. I'll do a before and after light test as well. They are bright though. I've got them angled down a bit so they're not too glary. So I may have to change that angle, so I'll just sort of work on it. And but this is the actual construction of it now, so all done. So this is low beam, and that's the high beam. So that's low beam and high beam, which is probably angled up a little bit more, but as you can see, definitely a lot brighter. Thanks for joining me on this one. Quite enjoyed this project, given it's involved a bit of welding, a bit of electrical, and just some customization. So if you like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, it's always appreciated, and we'll see you on the next video. Cheers!